based on the economy, essentially. And I was laid off.
How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now?
Hello, hello everyone. Elle Ballard is here today on our Women of the World Network Choreograph Success podcast with my guest, Michelle Hamilton. Welcome,
Hey, everybody.
Michelle. Hello. Michelle Hamilton is a founder and CEO of Spark AI Strategy and AI Class Lab, two firms dedicated to solving the AI adoption gap in the built environment. A 30-year veteran of the commercial real estate and AEC architecture, engineering, construction sectors, she bridges the divide between high-level corporate AI roadmaps and actual workforce enablement. Michelle leverages her deep industry expertise to help SMB, small to medium business, and mid-market firms turn passive software investment into active competitive advantages. Welcome again, Michelle. Good to see
Yeah.
you. Great. And I'm excited for this conversation. So timely. New things coming up every single day, right? But really, before we go there, I wanted you to just kind of share with us your journey, how you started. I know your background is actually non-IT
Right.
related. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it is. It's a little
interesting.
unexpected. It's a little unexpected, which actually makes it a lot of fun for me. So I
Yes.
started out actually studying glass blowing. So I have a master's degree in glass blowing and happen to have work all over the world in museums and permanent collections. So
So
you
cool.
would not think someone coming from that background would end up 30 years in the commercial real estate space and then founding two AI companies. But the journey and the connection between all of those actually was quite serendipitous and made perfect sense. So, my largest consumers of my glass product happen to be architects, designers, construction firms that commission work for commercial buildings. And so I entered into the commercial real estate space after being asked to do so much work for those types of clients and really found that I enjoyed connecting the dots by helping with business development and marketing practices, most particularly with architects, construction managers, engineers, designers, and really have enjoyed uh, just that space and the built environment for an extended period of time. You would not think it would lead to AI either, but serendipitously, it actually, before everybody had heard of ChatGPT, my son was a freshman in college and got a very early version of it and shared it with me. And for about 6 months before the rest of the world had an opportunity to begin playing with ChatGPT, he and I began experimenting with it together, and I began to apply it to architectural practices, biz dev, marketing, thinking about how can teams tap into this incredible wealth of knowledge, but in a really safe, protected way, and began to really develop a lot of my own approaches and strategies. Then went down a road of education. And then about a year, a little more than a year and a half ago, started coaching and then launched my companies.
Beautiful. So awesome. I love how this connections happen in life in different moments, right? Like you were doing something completely different, but then you still have this architecture bridge. Then it's all at the end. It's just all. Then we realize how it all gets connected. So that's just so awesome. I love
Well,
that.
and I
Thank
love
you
that.
for sharing.
Well, sure. And the great thing is because of all those years of service in that industry, I've sat on some incredible boards and am connected with an organization that's a worldwide women's organization called Crew. And in some ways, I feel like I have 30,000 women also part of my success. And so when I started my company, the 350 of us in our community, they wrapped their arms around me and said, we absolutely support you. We know what you can do. And so that's where most of my business began, was in the commercial real estate space. And I've since expanded beyond that. But I'm so lucky to have the power of all of these women behind me, believing in me, and all of us mentoring and supporting each other.
Yeah, so powerful. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So powerful and so important
Mhm.
to
Oh,
have that, those mentors, yeah, in your corner. Um, so you might have already shared that, but in your experience, in your career, maybe there was if you want to share the moment where the next level of you emerged, that next level of success, um, or maybe the next pivot. Was there a moment like that where that
actually,
opened up for
ironically,
you?
there was. I was commercial real estate, like so many industries, has gone through a lot of ups and downs based on the economy, essentially. And I was laid off, and the company actually gave me the gift of a month of providing me some income while I was searching for a new role. Well, it happened to be at over a holiday when I could go and spend some quiet time with my family, with my adult children, my aging parents, and have a moment to just get really quiet and think about what was important to me and what brought me real joy. And I happen to have a very strong meditation practice. And so I spent a lot of time in meditation, writing things down, documenting kind of just what would that look like if I stepped out on my own. And it was really truly during those 2 weeks that I wrote the business plan, had the vision, named the company, and gave myself a month to stand it up. And I'm fortunate to be married to a web developer. So he helped to quickly educate me on how to build out a website and kind of build out the collateral that I would need so I could hang that sign up and say, I'm here. Fortunately, because I do use AI probably 12 hours a day, I also have an army of AI bots working alongside me. So I am able to achieve things very, very quickly. So the idea of standing up a company, writing a lesson plan, filing for LLCs, and building a website in a month didn't seem unusual to me. I think that that's probably not the norm, but when you think about if you could orchestrate an entire team by just really explaining what it is that you want, then AI was just a really big part of how I could be an example for myself for other business owners.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. That actually touches on a good point. It's a great segue to my next question is on AI and adopting AI in organization where typically, traditionally, leaders introduce something new to the company. What do you see today in companies adopting AI between departments, between their expertise? How is that? Yeah. How is that? What do you see happening there?
What I'm seeing happening there is actually really an amazing shift for the business leaders that are willing and open to thinking about a new perspective and rolling out something as monumental as AI. Traditionally, I believe most business owners, key stakeholders have thought about a large rollout or adoption happening from the top down.
Top down.
And
Yeah.
my perspective on this actually is that AI is a bottom up integration. Now, yes, the owners have to think about their data, their privacy. They have to think about what are the tools that they're going to be investing in. But when they are thinking about what are the use cases and how is AI going to help impact the business itself, taking a human first approach and starting with your team and actually sitting and talking to your team and understanding what is part of their job, what are their deliverables, what are really their KPIs that
Yeah.
set the success. And if you
Mhm.
start and I don't want to say the bottom, but let's call it the bottom. If you start at the bottom and you really think about those support systems and the people that make up the foundation of your business, I think most leaders are quite surprised to find out how much of that work should not be replaced with AI, but it can be more efficient with AI. And that by training those people and giving them those tools, then those people can begin to also be not only early adopters, but begin to train the rest of the company. And if we work departmentally with a human first approach, handing those strategies, the keys to the AI use for specific use cases, then people begin to be much less resistant, much less fearful, and begin to enjoy themselves. They adopt it more readily because they feel like that they are given a voice. And after all, that really is what AI is. It is a voice.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love about it the most, especially someone coming from business development and marketing, is if you are a communicator, if you can speak, if you can talk about your needs, even the emotions behind a project, AI can actually perform for you significantly better than a traditional I'm going to just give it these bullet points and expect a great outcome. You're going to get far superior adoption from your employees as well as adoption from the AI itself if they are working together in concert through communicative practices.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Like that. I think.
That too, Elle, when you identify those
Mhm.
use cases departmentally, once all of that comes together, then a company should also be thinking about what is our new AI-based intellectual property
Yeah.
and how are we all combining that information together. And one of the things that we teach our clients is how do you build out an IP-based prompt library so that you are capturing that information and sharing it throughout
That's good.
so that everyone can learn and grow together, but also so
Yeah.
the company can lean into that tribal knowledge in order to
Yeah.
really expand and grow its offerings much more efficiently. Not in
Mm,
silos, but now it really becomes a team.
yeah. Yeah. I like that. Love that. Yeah. Just a really company organization wide unified approach where everybody is, yeah. I love the communication and human based versus, because that's where it starts, right? And I feel like because it's developing so fast, but there is so much else that needs to be done, so many other things that maybe there's a tendency to postpone an adoption or do some. And I love just sitting down and communicating and starting with just foundational key roles, right? And just building from there. I like that. And yeah, and just unified IP, so important.
I
That
agree.
unified prompt.
Traditionally, with a rollout like this, it has belonged primarily in the hands of the IT professionals, and they have an incredibly important job, supporting and protecting a company. And I'm fortunate enough to be married to an IT person. So I say this with love, but they don't always speak business. They don't always
Yeah.
speak a traditional language
Yeah.
that a
True.
standard business user understands. And
Yeah.
everybody, but I just have been around enough IT professionals to know that by bringing actually both of those together and us supporting each other, it's astonishing just how successful a rollout like that looks because it has the support of the people that are tasked with protecting the company, and the people who are tasked with protecting the company don't have to handle the change management and handle the fear and more of the emotional psychological shifts that need to take place along with that adoption. So I often find
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
rollouts we have is where I'm working really closely with the CIO or the IT department.
Yeah. 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 That's a great point. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, yeah. So interesting. So interesting. I wonder if we were to come back together in 6 to 12 months period, how this conversation, because everything just shifting so fast, right?
I mean, literally every 24 hours. I attend a morning meeting every day at 7:30 and
Yeah,
have for about 3 years now, so that I can just stay caught up in everything that has happened since yesterday, whether it's a new rollout, a new investment, or just a new strategy. You know, I have such an interest-based brain, so I love doing that. Very few people, I think, want to be, you know, on logged online every morning at 7:30 to learn something that has happened in the last 24 hours. That just
yeah,
happens to work for me, but it also means I get to serve my clients with
yeah.
the latest information
It's the
and knowledge and
latest.
help them kind of clear away all of the noise of AI and just make informed decisions.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love that because we're speaking about, we are on Choreograph Success podcast, and how perfect it is because this whole AI adoption, it has to be architected and choreographed. And if we're speaking of Choreograph Success as in the company, within the company, um, be, this communication between departments and all the that needs to happen, and like you said, on so many different emotional levels, and intellectual and so on and so forth. Yeah, so interesting. Speaking about Choreograph Success, what does it mean for you now in this point in your life and in your career? What does Choreograph Success mean to you now?
Oh, I love that question. I feel like as someone that a lot of my cohorts are considering retirement or are retiring, I'm having so much fun leaning into Michelle 2.0 and thinking just because you're getting older doesn't mean that you cannot take something that most people would have looked at as a devastating life experience and
Yeah,
say, no, let's make this ours. Let's lean into something
I
that
love
brings
that.
us so much joy and trust ourselves that we can have a vision and we can pursue that vision. We can find all of our support network that are around us and call upon them to participate in both the successes and the road bumps. Why not believe in yourself? I mean, why
Yeah,
not take that chance and know that sure, you can absolutely fail, but you're not going to fail. I mean, if you try, then it wasn't a failure. And I don't think you ever get too old for that. You just you
no,
don't.
I love,
AI
yeah,
doesn't have to indicate um, adoption of technology that everybody thinks is for all of the young people, because it's not.
yeah.
It is for everyone, and you just have to rethink your approach to it. And that's the part I'm just having so much fun with, is thinking about everyday problems and everyday questions along with business practices. But I also meet with school administrators. I mean, I'm working with a school district and we are talking about, what does education of the future look like? What about
Yeah.
the kids? What will happen, to our society and community? And my approach to that is, imagine if children were never ever told again that, oh, you could never do that. That's a silly dream. What if you could dream it and build it and do it? Because now you
Mhm.
have the
And
power
it happens for you. Hmm.
and it happens for you. And so I think
Beautiful.
AI can actually
Hmm.
be an amazing part of our future. I'm very cognizant of a lot of the scary things and the risks that currently I think are led by people who want to use AI for um, negative use cases. So my job is to help to teach people how to be the best AI users so that they can go back to being people and be with other people just like you and I are, more than ever before.
Yeah, I love that answer. I love that answer. So good. Yeah, I feel like it's just getting in better and better with age. As we age, things, it's just so interesting to just do and live and be and create. And yeah,
Oh
I
no,
love that
I couldn't
answer.
agree more. And like you, because I've listened to your podcast before. I'm a grandmother as well, and so when I think about my grandson and my adult children, and I think, boy, if I had looked at my grandmother and said, "Wow, she started a company as a grandmother," why not? Just
Yes,
think of what our next
yes,
generations will get to view that as.
yes, yes. And thank you for doing that, because setting an example for
Yeah.
future generations. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to move us to the rapid fire questions
Okay,
section.
I'm ready.
If you're ready. Okay, awesome. A morning ritual or practice that you want to share with us.
Okay, I have been studying transcendental meditation for 17 years. And
Yes.
so every morning at 6 a.m., I log on for a live broadcast with thousands of people around the world. We all meditate together with the CEO of the David Lynch Foundation. He leads a worldwide live meditation. And to me, the idea of bringing peace not only to myself, but collectively around the world, just the perfect way to start my day by being able to both inhale and exhale before, we all dive into sort of the craziness. I also try to either get outside and get sunlight as the sun is coming up, or also do some yoga and stretching. I have a strong, I do a lot of Pilates. And so I'm also always trying to keep myself as limber as possible from the rigorous workout that I put myself through many times a week.
So cool. Yeah, I'm very familiar with I've heard of it. I haven't done it myself, but I'm familiar with that meditation. And yeah, sunrise. Yeah, it's just beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Place in the world that shaped you.
Place in the world that shaped me. You know what? Growing up, we had a family farm. And for me, it represented one of the most beautiful, safe places. I was fortunate enough to be born with great great grandparents. And so I spent so many years on that farm. And, it's just a little town in the middle of the
Yeah,
US. But for me, it was such an important part of my
yeah,
childhood. When I need to go someplace to sort of relax my mind, that is the place that we no longer have the farm, but it is the place that I go to um, if I'm thinking about being in the US. I've managed to do some world travel, and so I have other places that absolutely have my heart. But that for me was a big part of my safety net and family touch points.
yeah, yeah. I was just speaking with someone about that yesterday, actually, about the place where those roots are. And when we go there, either physically or even in our mind, like I was sharing with someone about the place where I spent time with my grandmother growing up, and I will stay with her. And I was just telling someone yesterday, I would love to visit that apartment if I could.
Right.
But yeah, it's yeah. Thank you. So nice. Um, One word that describes a woman you are becoming.
You know what? I used the word serendipity before, and I have to use it again. I actually have worn a bracelet for many years that reminds me to always look upon moments with an open mind and an open heart. And for me, serendipity will always be my word, because at the hardest moments in life, I remember to reach down and touch the bracelet and go, it's okay. Let it be, and
Yeah,
lean into it, even if it's scary, even if it's sad. Things don't happen for a reason, but it's what you do with them that counts, in my opinion. And so, allowing serendipity to continue to inform me that, we can all continue to grow and change.
nice. Music, movement, stillness, or a combination of those.
Gosh. a combination of all of those. I love music. I don't listen to it as often as I would like to because I find it distracts me and I want to dance and move and sing. And I'm
Huh?
definitely a hyper focused person. So I spend time just really in a lot of deep thought in the work that I do. When I have my free time, it is the music. I couldn't do what I do if I did not have my Pilates practice, though, because
Yeah.
being able to be strong and move and breathe, I feel like helps to ground you and give you power in order to be able to come back fresh and think clearly. And
Mm.
I would be remiss if I did not say I am abundantly lucky that I have one of the most beautiful, remarkable families. I have a husband and children. I have my adult parents who are in their middle 80s are still alive. I'm just really, really lucky to be surrounded by love and support. So kind of all of those together
Yeah.
should answer that question.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, my final question is one non-negotiable for aligned success.
Forgiving yourself for not being perfect. And I struggle with that. I'm not great at
Yeah.
it. And it's something I have to remind myself almost every single day is forgiving yourself
Yeah.
when you are human and
Yes.
remembering to do that and showing up authentically, even when it's the messy you or the imperfect you, or even the days you do a great job. I think
Yeah.
love and forgiveness of yourself allows you to expand that love and forgiveness to others.
Beautiful. Yes. Thank you for sharing. So great. Yes. Yeah, great reminders too through, yes. Yes, thank you. So my final thing as we are concluding here today, we will post links on how to connect with you. Of course, if you wanted to name them or your website, Michelle, feel free to do so
Okay,
as well.
absolutely. I would love for people, I'll be sharing my links with you. I would love for people to visit our website. It's sparkaistrategy.com. And my beautiful team, just as a matter of fact, just rolled out a new version of it Monday of this week. So I'm so proud of it and proud of the hard work
Nice.
that they put into it. And you will go and you'll see my background in glass there because it is built to look like
That's cool.
flowing molten glass in the background.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that because, you get to know the person behind that front face.
Yes.
What this is what you do, you help and companies, and we spoke about with the AI and everything, but then behind that you get to see the glass. It's just so unique. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
thanks.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just as we are finishing here, if there is anything you want to share, a message, a truth, a reminder, an invitation with everyone listening today, feel free to do
I just
so.
want to invite everybody to have fun with AI. I understand that it is part of your job, and for some people it does feel scary. But if you can just do something fun with it to expand your knowledge, expand your repertoire, or even use it in voice mode to be your sous chef in the kitchen, which is something I've taught my mother to do. It tells her how
Oh,
to cook something and they talk back and forth in voice mode. Just have fun with it and think about how it gives you access to so much knowledge, but you are still the human and you are still the beautiful creative self. And so now you just have this incredible tool to help you do even more.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much,
Sure.
Michelle.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for coming today, and I know I learned a lot from you.
Well, I
Thank
enjoy your
you.
podcast so much. It is just one of my favorites. And so I'm so
You.
grateful to be on your show.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.